This is Hellbilly with Rockstars Glued Radio, and I'm talking to the band
Breakneck Bass.
So how y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Is this y'all's first time in Newport, Kentucky?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, cool.
Can you introduce yourselves individually and what you do in the band?
Metal Mike Jr., and I'm a bass player.
Gary and Wildman Perry, lead guitar.
Colin McLean, rhythm guitar.
Dan Romero, drums.
Jesse Silk, lyricist, vocalist.
Awesome. So where are y'all based from?
Westchester, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. So is it a good scene up there, rock scene, and metal scene?
I would say yes and no to the fact that there's a lot of people that like a lot of our style, but and there's a lot of other ones that don't. The scene it's kind of varied. There's not many venues out there. Usually they're down in the city.
Right.
So.
All right, cool. So how long have y'all been a band?
About 8 or 9
January
months. Since
20.
late January this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So cool. So how did y'all meet up and form?
Craigslist.
Oh, Craigslist.
Well, it's funny. Funny story. I met Garion through Craigslist, and then we both individually found Mike, and neither of us knew, so we both messaged him. And then he's like, "Are you Dan?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I just talked to Garion," and I was like, "No way." So, and then we found these two guys, Jesse and Colin.
Colin's our newest.
Colin just joined. What, two
weeks ago? Yeah.
I've been in for a couple
We've been
months.
through a lot of guitarists and singers, and finally found some people at work.
So how did y'all come up with the name Breakneck Bass?
That was actually in my last band. I originally wanted to call it Breakneck Boulevard, and that was like a spin-off of Shotgun Messiah's Heartbreak Boulevard. But instead I took away the Boulevard and I saw in like the dictionary I was looking up something like speed, because that's what I always liked, like speed metal and stuff like that. And I looked up speed, and the synonyms were breakneck pace. And I was like, that works. And I told Dan, and then we decided to name it that.
All right, cool. Now, when you all was growing up, what was your inspirations of playing music and metal and stuff like that?
My main ones, I got my musical styles from my dad, but Cliff Burton, Metallica, any Metallica, Pantera, Black Sabbath, those are my main influences.
Oh, cool.
My main influences would have to be Angus Young, both the guitarists from Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Motorhead, Guns N' Roses. There's a long list. But I will have to thank my buddy Theo Coffrin for getting me started on guitar. Without seeing him when I spent the night at his house playing that guitar and watching me in amazement at what he did on it, I wouldn't be here today.
All right, cool.
Mostly thrash metal bands of any kind, like Havoc, Anthrax, Megadeth.
I got started playing actually in my school's band, 6th grade, a little percussion snare drum thing. I didn't pick up drum set until 8th grade or so. After watching, I randomly happened to fall upon Metallica while I was on YouTube one day, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard. So that's when I started playing drums. And
picked up Guitar Hero, Metallica.
Yeah, I got guitar. Yes, I started on Guitar Hero. Okay, and then my dad's like, "Do you want a real drum set?" So I'm like, "Sure." And I started taking lessons, and here I am.
I think you're gonna get a little hate for that Guitar Hero.
Yeah, whatever. I was like 10. Okay. Anyways, so influence-wise, I love so many bands of so many different genres of rock and metal.
Same here.
I like Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, all the big four. I like bands like Breaking Benjamin or whoever, and just it's a huge list. I could sit here all day and name them.
Right.
Yeah, I actually didn't grow up with metal. I grew up with Springsteen, who I still love to this day. But I mean, as I got in my teen years, I got Led Zeppelin 4 for my 13th birthday from my Aunt Deb. Shout out, I love you. And that just, I heard that and it blew me away, and I got into hard rock and metal since then. So Led Zeppelin then, and then hearing my first Iron Maiden song later on in my teen years just blew me away. They're my favorite band, and really, really inspired me to be here doing this.
Cool. So, what's y'all's songwriting processes go as for your songs?
It's whoever comes up with the first cool riff, and we're like,
We just build off each other. It changes. Sometimes one of us will come in with a cool riff. Sometimes, one of us will come in with lyrics, or we'll just be jamming. A lot of our best stuff is just from screwing around and jamming.
I think
it changes a lot.
It varies.
A lot of the stuff that we have started off with like a couple of cool riffs, and we jam it out, and then I I find I tend to be the guy that arranges the songs. I pick out the cool bits and I put them in order, and then that's kind of how we structure it.
Yeah, part by part a lot. Like our new song, "In My Dying Breath," like I came up with the intro melody for that, and then Gary put like a riff for the verses together, and we really do that a lot. We piece parts together and then end up with the whole song.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Cool. So, like, is there any pre-rituals before you like go on the stage or anything like that, or into the studio? Like any kind of like.
Well, I like to cut chickens' heads off. I'm just kidding.
I got nothing on that one. I don't think we do anything. We just say good luck and then we go. We
Yeah.
go on. That's all I say is give a nice each other a hug and pat on the back.
I like to
think
meet the other bands and
Yeah.
kind of network with other groups. Like these, I've been talking to these guys in Detrimental. They're really cool.
Yeah,
and,
they're actually really good.
Yeah.
I think as we grow as a band, we'll develop more tradition like that and stuff.
Yeah.
And things like that. So
Cool. Now, is there any other band or musician would you like to share the stage with later on down the road, or even studio with?
So him at Demise and Killing Session.
Killing Session,
bands.
definitely. I love Killing Session.
They're two other thrash metal bands out in this area.
Right.
None that I can really think of that aren't like local, but bands like Iron Maiden, Megadeth.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Motorhead.
opening for them, man, that'd be something else.
Oh yeah. Robert Johnson.
Molly was still
I'm
alive.
big time into blues.
Oh, yeah.
I love
very
blues
into
too.
blues.
Really? Wow.
we
that's
didn't
awesome.
mention that as much, but that's another big influence right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where
blues
Led
that
Zeppelin
would
gets it
rock.
from, and we pass it on down through the generations.
A nice, sexy blues jam just about
Right.
every practice.
Lay down a nice tasty jam.
Right. So, like, is there a song that you all have written that maybe have more special meaning to you than others, and that you've written?
Well, I mean,
different for all of us.
lyrically, I mean, we
all
all.
have our favorites.
Yeah. I mean, lyrically, for stuff I've written, "In My Dying Breaths," it's about a movie called Prayers for Bobby, and it was just a very moving film, and so that one I kind of feel close to heart. I try to write it from his perspective. So that's a close one, and Medieval talks about like war and religion stuff. So I really try to hit on some topics, really addressing like why are we here, and some important things like that we like to put through with our music. So those are some ones that are personally like I like getting into that, as I'm singing what I've written. It's a cool
Right,
it's a
right.
cool process.
Right. Cool. How about you, Aline?
I'd say Medieval, because the riff that Garen came up with, that one was like way back when we started, so that just brings back like really good memories to me when I hear it of when we first started. We were just jamming in my basement.
Right. Cool.
My favorite would have to be, there's a tie between our new song and My Dying Breath and Medieval. Those two right there are my favorites.
Right. So, what would y'all be rather doing in the studio, or would you be playing out?
Both. Both. Because I love being in the studio recording all that, and I love to play it live.
Right.
I'd like to put out a live record.
Yeah, he's taking another level right there.
There we go. There we go. Do a CD, but who cares about the studio? It's all about the connection with the fans and meeting new people. At least that's what it is for me.
Right.
Yeah, for me, the studio, to me, means new material, which is exciting. And that's why I like it, because I love making new material. It's the coolest thing in the world, next to playing these shows, So,
Right.
like Aaron said, they're both awesome.
Right. How about you?
I'd love to get into this studio, but I just really love the energy of playing live.
Right. All right. Cool. And do you feel the same?
I do feel the same. I love having new material to put out, but for me, playing live or being in the studio playing live is just one step above, because I love that connection with the fans and just getting out and meeting new people.
All right. Cool. So, what do you think is your biggest challenges to overcome as being a part of a band and stuff like that?
Schedule.
Schedule.
I mean, we've been struggling a lot. Most of us have full-time jobs. We all want to, make this work. We want to, live doing what we love to do.
Yeah.
But, obviously we're a band. We have our disagreements and stuff, but, just getting together all the time and making time to put new music in and, schedule shows. We've had to turn down 15 or 20 shows this month because scheduling. So for me, that's our biggest thing.
Yeah.
For me, it's scheduling and communication.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of things like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Oops. It's mainly.
Mostly to me.
Yeah, mostly to Dan. Drummer's usually the last to know everything.
Right.
And we're like, hey, Dan, this, and he's like, what?
Just the rhythm section in general. Nobody thinks about the rhythm section.
I tell you and you, but not you.
It's really scheduling for me because, well, I'm in high school, so I have to deal with all of that, and then go to practice.
Well, let's see. Everyone practices at my house, so I can't say scheduling for me is a problem.
We have our own practice room.
But yeah, I would say that, again, scheduling is the biggest problem. You know, trying to get between school and work and just trying to find time for everyone to get together and rehearse.
Right.
I would say just, having faith in what we're doing. I mean, I believe in what we're doing. And, it's a tough process to, get where we want to get to. We've got high aspirations and we're not changing those. But
Never.
That's right. And, so we've got big goals and we're going to see that we get there, but it's not an easy road. It's like AC/DC says, a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So, sticking with it, that's what we got to be doing.
What makes the hard work pay off at the end, though?
The hard work? Mm-hmm. Playing live and melting some faces, frying some brains, breaking some necks. Right. It feels so great when you're done. You have the adrenaline rush and the crowd's going wild, and it feels great after you're done, and you just feel accomplished.
Right.
Yep. This music's so full of passion, and that makes it worth it alone. Like I said, as an Iron Maiden fan, being at a concert like that, having that fan band experience, and then now we're on the other side of it. We get to be a band, and I want to try to give that experience to people, and that makes hard work worth it. No matter how much we got to do, that's worth it.
Very cool.
Now, is there any advice you could give, like younger musicians now just getting started?
Any advice?
Yeah, advice.
Communication. Communication is key. If you don't communicate properly, you will fail.
Right.
And you also have to realize that it's if you want it to be a career, you really have to work for it. Otherwise, it's just a hobby, or you don't care.
Right.
You can't be afraid to fail either. I mean, that happens to everybody. Yeah.
You're gonna make mistakes, and I wouldn't sweat it. So, obviously you don't want to be going around making mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
But, you're gonna make mistakes when you start out. I'm still making mistakes. We're all still making mistakes now. No one's perfect. You just gotta work through it. You gotta learn through these experiences and just to make yourself a better musician.
Right. And one big thing is, even before getting into the band, keep an open mind. One thing, especially for me, because I love all kinds of music, metal, hard rock, country, blues, some older rap. Coming into this band, I said from the very beginning, just make sure to keep an open mind. That the more open your mind is, the sky's the limit. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
to expand your repertoire.
You don't want every single song to sound exactly the same, because we like this one band, and every song is going to sound like this band. It just doesn't work.
Right.
Yep.
So after tonight at the Thompson House here in Newport, where will y'all be?
In December, we'll be taking like a pseudo hiatus. We won't be doing gigs, but we'll be doing like practices.
I hate when he says hiatus. Like I said earlier, there's this. It's not even in any way a hiatus. We have too much on our plate right now to really take much more. We have, like I said, we've turned down 15 shows in the past week. We've got to get practices in. We just finished a new song. I've got some ideas for new songs.
Same.
We just don't have time to take on any more,
Right.
and we just have to take it as we can get it.
This is just for the month of December, though.
Yeah.
Starting January, we are going to start doing shows. We've already got a gig booked for January.
Yeah, January 12th at the Underground. Be there.
More shows, new material. That's where we're going.
I didn't know that.
All right, cool.
Now you know. See, communication. You didn't know.
Communication, breakdown. But anyway, okay, year from today, where will y'all be? In the future?
Touring.
Touring?
Maybe an album.
I'll go ahead. As much as I would love that, I actually just joined the Army, so a year from today, we'll probably just getting an additional 3 or 4 more songs with all of us. Now, I'm sure they'll do shows without me because Maestro Jesse over here is a jack of all trades, so he'll fill in on bass for me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll play whatever's needed, man. I just love music.
He's our cover bassist.
So laid back.
Cool.
So, what all sites can people and listeners find you all at?
What is it? Oh, on sites. There's a lot actually. I made a lot of.
Don't name all of them.
Okay, our main ones are Facebook. That's /Breakneck Pace, and then you got Reverb Nation, which is the same thing /Breakneck Pace. That's our music and our main communication website. But we also got like Twitter, MySpace,
and then you can buy
Band
our
Mix,
album
yeah.
at Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Is it buy our entire album?
Yeah, you can buy our entire album for $5 on Bandcamp. You're willing to pay more if you wish, but it's preferred to be $5.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So what do you think about social media sites like Facebook and MySpace and all that? Does it help a band out or does it hurt?
Yes, yes, it does. Bands back in the day did not have that opportunity, and it actually helped our fan base spread a lot faster than most bands would think nowadays. Like back in the 80s and all that, you didn't have stuff. We didn't have Facebook. I'm sure you all know.
Yeah, it was tape trading then, and now you got social media and stuff. And as a fan, that's how we discover a lot of bands we love. Not the biggest name ones. We go on the internet and find them from there. And so we're using that same tool for us to try to get our name out, and it's a great way to do it.
You have 100 fans on Facebook, and every single one of those 100 fans goes and shows one or two of their friends your song, and then they all go show, and it just spreads. And over the internet, you can contact anyone, anytime, super fast. So it just has the ability to spread out so fast. You see all those people on YouTube or whatever get big overnight, just like that, because it spread the video or whatever.
Where's that guy from? We're actually sending a free autographed copy to a fan. I guess he randomly wrote us one day and said, I've been a fan since the beginning, and you guys are amazing. I really look up to you. And he's in Minnesota or Michigan.
Something like Michigan.
Well, either way, it's something that's hours away from here. So just that fact that all the people we know are in this area, and then we're getting hits from other states. That is something that back in the day the Metallicas and the Iron Maidens and the Zeppelins couldn't do.
Right.
It's all word of mouth back then.
Yeah, I still think word of mouth too is a useful tool as well. When you go out and tell people, hey, check out my band, pass out flyers, give out business cards, so that's best too. It's not just social media. It's still you have to go out and physically do the work. Go out, put flyers on poles, force people to take a flyer. Right. It's basically word of mouth and social media. The two main things you got to work for.
All right, cool. So what's one of your craziest moments being a part of a band so far? It's something that sticks in your mind, whether it's on a stage or whatever. What's one of your craziest moments?
Our first gig at the Mad Frog. They all laughing because they know this.
It's okay now that it's over.
Yeah, it's over now, but I still have a slight bit of regret. I only had one guitar, and now I have two because of this reason. My guitar string broke in the middle of our set, and I wasn't able to play. And I had to take his guitar, and he plays in a different tuning. So I had to take his, tune it up twice, and then the cable kept falling out, and then the tone was really deep and mushy. Then I had to turn the knob back up, and then
it was just the whole first song. The whole first song was just a disaster.
Yeah,
we were just what is going on?
And I'm the front man, just telling the crowd, hey, we've had some technical difficulty. As soon as I let those two words out, I'm like, oh, we're at the point of no return here. But hey, we salvaged the show and
the rest
the best we could.
The rest of the show went great. After I got his guitar working, it went great. Yeah, we got Encore for Doom.
Yeah, it was our first show. So.
Yeah, we sold the most tickets out of everybody too.
That's awesome. So cool. So just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out and talking to us. And I got one more question. I'll let you go. What does music mean to you?
Everything. Especially with me going in the military, music is what's going to get me through. It's gotten me through all the issues I've had with my dad, my mom. If I'm having a stressful day, I'll just stop whatever I'm doing and just relax. It's my stress reliever. It's if it wasn't for my girlfriend, it'd be my only crutch in bad situations.
Right.
For me, music is my drive. It is what gets me up and out of bed every morning. In all honesty, if I didn't have music, I probably wouldn't be alive today.
Right.
In all honesty,
I agree.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't have music. When I'm angry and I go after, like if I had a very bad day at work, like what you said, like I go home, play my guitar, listen to some Metallica, and then I'm calm. I feel great afterwards, and then I just go get something to eat and then go to bed.
Yeah.
And I feel great, and then. It's to me. It's as what Mike said. It's everything to me.
Yeah.
Music to me is pretty much my entire life since I've spent most of it playing violin, and I picked up bass a couple years ago, and guitar later than that, and I've just been learning for a long time, and it's what gets me through tricky situations and.
Yeah, they already said it, but music is my life. I would be lost without it. Like, I don't even know. I think it's funny when I tell people, I think it's kind of weird, but like if I leave the house and I forget my earbuds, I get really frustrated because then I can't listen to my music. It's like music is with me all the time. And, when I'm frustrated, I can go play my drums and, I'm hitting something, it makes me feel good. Or I can go, listen to music on my laptop if I'm in a bad mood or, just have nothing to do. I can just sit down and listen to music, and it gets me through everything.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, music for me, it's a way to connect with God, and I'm just so blessed, that He's given us that gift, and it's just like these guys said, it's your solace, it's there, whenever you need it to be, and it's something, to be passionate about, and to just live wholeheartedly in that emotional realm it puts you in.
Yeah.
And so it's a very powerful, very, very powerful thing.
It's like music is never gonna leave you. It's not like it's not gonna break up with you or anything. It's always gonna be there when you need it.
Right.
It's there.
Right.
So.
All right, cool.
And it rules.
If you need a hug, music will give you a hug.
All right, cool. I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out.
Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it. We are Breakneck Bass, and you're listening to RockstarsGlued.com.